And then try to limit it to one since, as the group grows, but then I'll circle back to you because usually we have time for you to get a couple questions in because we're going to kill it. So yay. Okay. Let's get a photo before we begin. Renee, are you coming on camera today? Is everybody on camera that's coming on camera? I like to get a big group photo done first and then focus. And if you ever
Yes, I'm
hang out with
coming on
me
I'm coming on in just 1 minute.
no worries. We'll wait for you to come on then. Just so you guys know, if you ever hang out with me in person, I do the same thing. I'm like, we should get a selfie for PR. And then I like put my phone away and I'm like, let's hang out now. Okay. So just so you know, I'm like this in person. Is that way I can just focus. So we'll get a picture in a minute when everybody's joined. Okay. So to start with, Rachel, you are up. Let's go.
Well, I just have lined out my Black Friday offer and I just was going to put it in the chat and then
Put
you
it in
could
the
be
chat.
like,
Let me see it. Yes, please. Thank you. I would never regret that.
Message is too long. Let me send it in a couple. Let me send it
can you
I'll do it like this. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. You'll figure it out. You can email me too.
No, it's okay. We can get it this way.
We're going to get this thing. I like it. Isn't it great? The
There's
go-getters attitude. Love it. Okay. Let me see. So you're going to do it in a couple things. Okay. So you want me to take a look at your Black Friday deal, regular costing, a different name, Bravery 8-week bootcamp focus on healthy. Cord cutting visualization. That sounds cool. True you. Okay, so which one is the one that you're wanting to just one? If you were going to choose one and sell 5, which one would it be? What one bundle to focus on?
So the actual Black Friday offer is like this break free boot camp. That's like the actual one. The ones below that are like the bonuses. So you asked me which bonus I would offer.
No, if it's the break free thing, like what I would say is like, it's that entire thing.
Everything above the bonuses is like what they are paying for. Everything below the bonuses is what they get in addition to the thing they're paying for.
Okay, so it's too many bonuses. We're going to choose 3.
Okay.
Hey, Renee.
Okay.
Okay, first let's all get a picture before somebody has to go. I know it's like right at the beginning, but I told you this is how I am. I'm like, let's get out of the way so I can focus my brain. Okay, everybody, let's get a picture. Grab a prop if you want. Don't grab a prop. Oh, look, I have my new sticker, by the way, if anybody wants it. It's amazing. Yes. Okay, I'm sending it for free with little handwritten cards to anybody who wants it. That's what I'm doing. Okay, let's get a picture. I'm going to count to 3. Do whatever you want on the count of 3. 1, not whatever. 1, 2, 3. Okay, whatever. All right, awesome. We got it. Okay, so and how much would you usually charge for this program?
Well, I would say, I mean, like, what I don't know. Like, I've never offered this thing, but
so it's 8 weeks. What's the majority of the actual program? They get this 8-week breaking free boot camp working alongside you. Essentially, is it one-to-one calls with you? Are you offering WhatsApp support? Okay, so what does it include?
No, so it's weekly calls. It's
group or one-to-one?
Weekly group calls, not one-to-one calls. So weekly group calls. It's access to the 100% You Experience Vault.
Okay.
It's getting into the True You Vision Board event, which is what I've done multiple times before. They can have WhatsApp support for me or from me. The thing I'm wondering is
that's a big extra. Okay.
When you were saying in your video, it's like you want to try and offer things that aren't going to have additional time for you. You know what I mean? So like the WhatsApp support is pretty easy.
Unless, yes, WhatsApp is a great bonus. That's an awesome one because it's still one-to-one time, but it's not like where you have to schedule a call and stuff. I know people that charge $5,000 a month minimum just for WhatsApp access for 30 days. I was talking about that on a video I just did. What I would just say is this, like, if you don't want to do one-to-one calls and you do want to sell this out, how many of these would you like to sell? How much money would you like to make by Cyber Monday?
Well, I
And
would
all of
like
I'm gonna ask you
to
all
make
these
like
questions. So
$5,000
NPD,
by
just writing
Cyber
it
Monday.
down. How much do you want to make by Monday?
$5,000. Like I would like to sell like 5 of these.
Okay, then this is what I would do. I'd make this a lot easier. Okay.
Okay.
I would shorten this down to 30 days so that you can sell for $9.97. And the reason I'm saying that is having known you a little bit and knowing that we're working on increasing price points to get
Mhm.
you some momentum. I would say, and because you're not wanting to offer one-to-one calls, so here's what
I
I
mean,
would
I
do.
can offer one-to-one calls for 30 days. That seems reasonable to me.
I would do that, and I would then charge it $19.97 instead of $9.97. So if you're
Okay.
just doing group, the $9.97, they get the group thing, things like that. So what I would do if I were you is I would have a $19.97 30-day breakthrough boot camp. And it would be like December or January. You could ask them which month they want to start them, but they have to pre-buy. And it's 30 days. You're going to boot camp them and you're going to give them the bonuses. They can start their new year. Don't overwhelm them with the bonuses because essentially
Okay.
what they want is you. So
Right.
if it's 30 days of you one-to-one plus WhatsApp support plus the courses and those bonuses, sell it for $19.97. If they balk at the, I know balk, it's a great word, right? I'm like, where's the L? At the price point, then say, you know what? No worries. The downsell is it's only $9.97 without the one-to-one calls. And guess what they're going to want? The one-to-one calls. So I would put the one-to-one calls at the 30-day breakthrough boot camp with you for $19.97. They get 4 1-hour calls. They get the 30 days of WhatsApp support daily, Monday through Friday. They get some of these bonuses, extends it into January. And yeah, sell 5 of those. Those are very doable price points. It's still a reach for you. And you can, the downsell can be take away the one-to-ones and it's $9.97.
Yeah. Well,
Simple.
I think 1997 is not a reach for 30 days with me because people are going to get the results they want. A lot of the results they want in 30 days. What I'm hoping
Right.
is after that 30 days, they'll be like, I don't want to stop. And then they go into the
100%.
one-on-one and then that 12 for 12 more weeks. And then they can actually deduct the price that they've paid for this from the one-on-one stuff. Is that something you would do?
No, because
Okay.
they just got one-to-one stuff. So
Oh,
you
that's
could
true. Okay.
offer, yeah. So no, you're not giving them any credit. This is a 5 days only. There was this awesome Alex Hormozy video last year, guys, and he talks about what I'm kind of sharing with you. He took it down like within 48 hours though. And probably because some of the things he was saying was a little like reaching, but it was really good advice. But it's hard sometimes when you're posting stuff public. So for any of you, all this is relevant to you too. Like I don't advertise the low sell, like the down sell ever, especially. So the key here is have the number of how much money you want to make. So if you want to make 10K, that's your put that on the board. Don't say 5K, it's 10K. Buyer before Cyber Monday. You've got 5 spots. And then the other thing that I would do is I would order, and this is a part of faith, order 5 goodie boxes, get them ready, take pictures of them. This is for all of you. This is advice for everybody. Physical goods, especially in a digital era, do really, really well. So get those 5 goodies, wrap some of them, like have it out and then wrap them gorgeous and say, when you purchase, like, so for all of you, this is what I would be doing. Okay. And 5 is a great number to shoot for. And then what you can do is if you sell the first 5, you're like, you know what? I'll open this up for January, but it's 2,500 because it's only the first 5. You have to raise your price point and do all that. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks.
Okay. You're welcome. Yes. Anybody else? Because we know. All right. April has a question. Yes. Go ahead.
I wrote it in the chat, so I'm just going to read it because that was helping me get my thoughts together. But so I would love to experiment with a Black Friday something. And the 2 things I thought about were just like a 1-hour styling consult on Zoom.
Okay.
And or a 2-hour closet edit that would be in person, where I help them. Well, like we can explain it if you have questions, but and then hopefully of those 2 things, I can upsell to the full service. And what do you think about that? Either of those, and then what do you think about crediting them the price if they purchase the full service?
Okay, I got you. So for everybody, this is the part I liked about Alex Hormozi's training last year. If you can take away one main takeaway, this is the time to make your most delicious offer of the entire year. It's not the time to downsell, and it's not the time to ask for an upsell. What you actually want to put together is a transformational program that essentially you would charge 50K for and charge 20K, or charge 10K for typically and charge 2K. Now, I don't believe in discounting. So what you'd want to do is bundle the thing so good that it's a no-brainer for those 5 people that you want to sell to this next week. They have to say yes. Like they really, really, and this goes for any time, but especially right now, we're going to do some extras. Like really all your offers need to be so crystal clear on the transformation you provide instead of the how or the no. Don't worry about other offers. Like please within your mind, one offer, one offer, one offer, one offer. Everybody say it with me. One offer, one offer, one offer, one offer. Just come on, one offer. We're chanting one offer, one offer, one offer, one offer. I'm serious. And then I want you to, again, we're going to say it again. Transformation, 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 transformation. Come on. Transformation, transformation. That is what you need to ingrain into your brain. The rhymes are coming. Okay. So you have to do that because there are so many things all of us can do. Raise your hand if you ever like, there's so many things I do. There's so many offers. And that's the problem. The people who are making money do not have a lot of offers. They have one offer, and it's usually a VIP track, a group track, or go at home. Sure, do that yourself. For me, people do not get access to me anymore one-to-one unless they have 20K, 50K. That's the minimum at this point. It'll probably raise to 100K because I'm selling out these other ones coming up soon. Right now, I'm doing a little mixture thing. And then in January, I'm going to try something else. Okay. So but I've been doing business for 20 years. Raise your hand if you've also been in business for longer than 2 years, longer than 5 years, longer than 10 years. Any kind of business. It can be real estate business too, Ben, like investing. Anybody longer than 10 years? It can be any business longer than 15 years, longer than 20 years. Okay. So 25 for me. I've been getting paid to do what I love since I was 16. I'm 41 now. Isn't that crazy? I know. But the point is that it's been a long time. And, and even if it's not been a long time, I wish I knew years ago that I should have charged what I was worth in my 20s, right? I didn't know that. I didn't have that knowledge. Now we are in this incredible opportunity because of the internet. Okay. So I believe in actually providing value, not just charging high to charge high. So what you want to do is if you want to make $10,000, you better make that 2K package so freaking delicious that you'd feel good about selling it for 10K. And to sell it for 2K for just the first 5 people. Okay. Once a year deal. So April, 1 package, no downsells because no upsells, because what you want is the upsell. If you downsell, you're like, well, it can be an hour. Like I've offered some of you like, okay, if you can't afford this big package with me, and I don't like to say can't afford, but like, you're trying to figure out money mindset and how to get the money. I get it. Okay. You could do a 1 hour with me, or you could do my course. You guys see what I mean? So I do have those. I don't talk about that mostly on social media. What I'm going to talk about are my big ticket programs. Okay. So then when I talk about something like, guess what? I've got this deal on my Automate to Dominate program. It's usually I haven't raised the price yet to $10,000. It's only $2,000 for the next, so whatever thing you're talking about, it's not just the sale. It's the point that you want to build the value around it so good and then just simplify it. So for you, April, I would say transformation. What's going to really help people with styling? I would say a virtual or in-person style edit. Like do not limit yourself to in-person. Then you're just in person. Then you have to drive somewhere. Then you have to go into their closet and you better be charging 5 times as much at that point. Right? Because it's your energy, it's in person. There's also a safety issue. Who's at their house? I'd be bringing a bodyguard. I'm not joking. I don't go to people's house in Burbank. And the reason I say that is I've had some of my worst experiences in North Hollywood from when I used to live out there. No, there's great, super fancy areas. And it doesn't matter where you live, friends. Like just protect yourself if you're ever going in somebody's house. It doesn't matter if it's a fancy neighborhood or not. I'm gonna always opt to, I don't want to have to do that. If I do that, it's 5K minimum. Like for me to even meet, like when people are like, do you want to meet for coffee? I'm like, yeah, it's $5,000. And they're like, oh, I'm like, yeah. So no, I mean, yeah. We're not talking business. If you want to meet me for coffee, then like, sure, I'll have coffee, but we're not talking about business because that's not free. So if you go to somebody's house and it's a closet, it's way more. What I would offer would be the package, sell it virtually. And if somebody was local, you can just have a little asterisk like, ask me about in person if you're local to the Los Angeles, Orange County area. But you have to build in a whole time, gas money, food money, comped, and charge more because it is in person. It actually is more valuable at that point. So what I would say is you do a closet style transformation. Let me help you clean out your clothes from this year, get rid of the stuff you don't need. I'll actually look up where you're going to go donate it all. And I'm going to help you pick out your top 5 or 10 outfits that you can mix and match for Zoom calls. Cause we talked about, I gave you that consult for entrepreneurs, things like that. Like I would pitch that thing to be like, look amazing on Zoom all the time, closet makeover and styling with April. And yeah, I would charge $2,000 for that. And I mean, if you're just starting because you kind of are, maybe $997 is great, but what it would be 2 consultations. One is the start. Let's clean this stuff out. I'm going to be there on Zoom, cheering you on, playing music, helping you organize. I'm going to look up the local donation places. They don't have to do any work. Do you guys see what I'm seeing here? When you charge higher ticket, be concierge for them. Like be that VIP person that's like, no, don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. All the little things they would think of. Send them a present as well. So if you want to make $5,000, then I would have $997 closet makeover and Zoom style thing. We can title it later if you join up. And that's what you need to be doing. And don't sell anything below that, and go sell 5 of those, go sell 10 of those. I think 2 calls a week. Within a week, you want a timeline, like we're going to do it this week and within 7 days. I'm going to support. You can text me during that week any questions you have, and on the follow-up call, once it's cleaned out, I'm going to help you pick out those outfits and style what you already have in place, and then they're going to want to keep working with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Any questions? So your takeaways, so how much money do you want to make? So the thing with everybody is like, don't get caught up in weeds. You need to ask, how much money do I want to make? What package can I sell the minimum of? Because the truth is, if you guys want 5 sales, you're going to probably have to get 10 calls. And honestly, getting 10 calls by next week is a lot. So what I'd say is, how could you make a $5,000 program? Could you work with somebody for 3 months? Could you make it a $10,000 program that you sell for $5,000 and then you sell 1 or 2 and you're at $5,000 or $10,000? But again, when you're first starting up, the $997 is an incredible price point. It sells really easy, or $1997. Those 2 price points are extremely popular. So those are easier sells. Plus on top of that, it'd be better to get like 5, even 10 people in. And a lot of those will rebuy from you if you do a great job and refer clients your way. Cool.
Cool.
It's money time, money time, money time. Yes, I like it. Who loves to make money? I love it so much. And I always have things on my list that I need to purchase or want to purchase. There's a long list. All right. Anybody have any questions for their Black Friday? And Renee, I love your top. So pretty. All of you look lovely. Ben looked handsome. I don't know where you went, Ben, if you're still there, but you looked great too. Okay. Any questions? Anybody? Remember, you can talk with me as well. Hey, Ben. Good to see you. I'm just going to breathe while you guys think then. I mean, I can map things out for you, but
Well, I have another question. And it's
Okay.
about naming like the Facebook group, because I'd like to start a Facebook group up. It's free, let people come in there and then do that. So I think the last time that we had talked about this, you had said you don't want to name it the same thing as your program. So if I have the 100% you experience,
Mhm.
you know, and then like that's the 100% you experience is the 12-week $5,555 thing, blah blah blah, right? So then I'm trying to think of a naming convention for the Facebook group, and the thing that comes to my mind is feel the freedom. So really it's where people are feeling the freedom that they truly desire in order to experience the life exactly the way that they want. So if they want to feel, you know, free from emotions, free from react, you know what I mean? Those habits, all the things I talk about all the time, right? Is that like, I don't know, I'm stuck. I don't know what to name it.
Well,
I don't-
good thing you have all of us here for
I
you.
know.
So I already have an idea. So, okay, for Facebook groups, what you really want is, Grace, can you also do me a favor and please message Grayson and let him know that we're on this call and send him the Zoom link. Thank you. I'm like, I just remember because they've been asking me questions about Facebook groups. So let's see. Anyway, I don't call people out at all. You know what? Sometimes we all need a little reminder. Okay. So, groups, actually think about Lady Gaga and like Taylor Swift and super celebrities. Do you guys know the names of their communities?
No.
Okay, so Lady Gaga's is Little Monsters, so that's what she calls her followers. Taylor Swift, aren't they like Swifties or something like that? And then they all go like this. I can't. I support her and her incredible entrepreneurial endeavors, but anyway, that's all I'll say about that. So, incredible followers, right? These people are devoted to these people. Am I right? So one part of the psychology of people following you is creating a culture and a community around your stuff. So the reason I say don't name things the name of your program is the program is a result of what they want, and it's usually just like a name, right? So if I did 100K in 100 days, like that's my program name. That it's the result that the client wants, right? It's not what's included, it's the result what the client wants. Who wants 100K in 100 days in here, right? So if you want 100% you boot camp, that's a result of what they want. The name of the community could be Freedom Seekers, for example, or like it's where, so mine's the solopreneurs group. So meaning like I'm giving 7-figure society. So it's a society. It's a lot of S's. I like wordplay, right? So there's things that do well, by the way, just so you guys know, this is proven. So just so you know, same letters. Okay. So just for you guys to think about some things, you need the name of a community. The culture is ideally nice, even in the title or the subtitle of what the community is called. It is a community. It is VIP. It is supportive. You know, words like tribe, because of the day and age we live in, like sometimes people try and cancel you for saying that, but essentially what you really are trying to create is a tribe, is a community, is a culture, which means there's also language. So think about Lord of the Rings. He created a whole Elvish language, right? Harry Potter. Why do people freak out? They're like Gryffindor, Slytherin, you know, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw. Why do they go to all these places? Think about Disneyland. Which character are you? So if you can create culture that's truly like, even if it's dorky or even if it's odd or like it doesn't actually, I mean, we're all going and putting mouse ears on and paying thousands of dollars to do that. It's weird, but it's so fun. So like part of it is if you guys can create communities that you are expressing the things that you're just like really aligned with. So for yours, it would be like the Freedom Seekers, I think would actually be a really great group name. But the point is you're creating, it's not just freedom, it's you're saying we are freedom seekers. So think about it like your community is a we are. What are you? So we are the 7-figure club. And so when you're in this group, you're a part of a club. Think about Babysitters Club. Are all these references now coming to mind for all of you? Like these things that we're raised with, and you're like, if you want to look for a way to create culture like that, that's extremely inclusive and exclusive. So like people can buy in, like it's warm, it's welcoming, but it's also exclusive because you can't get in unless like you also align with these values or you've paid this much money. Does that all make sense? So those are, so words like community, you can get your thesaurus out. You don't even have to get one out. You can Google it, and you can look for words that are similar to those things. And I'm sure you probably could use AI, but essentially it's a thesaurus. I really just don't use AI with anything, just so everybody knows, like anything. I have not found it to be useful for my business personally. You might, I do not. I think that part of brainstorming is being in flow with higher, I believe in God, but I also believe in like your unique talent and purpose that each of you has. And if you don't let yourself just have some space to have a pen and a paper to just let yourself brainstorm, let yourself think, set a timer like I teach you guys, like that's when your personal ideas come out and that's when the genius hits. So I really encourage everybody to like, sit with a pen and paper and then let us know in the group what those things are. Does this help? So your Facebook group needs to be a community for your people. And it also should be something you're excited to be in, right? Like, I don't look at it like a job. Like, I'm just so excited to like get into my group when I get in my group. Like, and I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 post-it notes today. Like, hey Grayson, good to see you. Of different things that are like, I have to do today. But when I get the opportunity to just get into Canva and create content for my group or do a live stream and things like that, like I'm truly just like, so, excited. I'm going to stop the video on that one. Cool. Any questions on that? Did that make sense for you, Rachel, to kind of brainstorm a few ideas of your community name? And you could do that today. Just put it in the group, tag me.
Okay.
Tag me. I'll help you. Yes, great questions. They're all good questions. Grayson, we were talking about Facebook group names, by the way. So we're just robining. That just reminds me of that one song that's like tweedly, tweedly. You guys are like, why is she whistling? Because that's what song I just thought of. Anyway. All right, Carrie's got her question. Let's go. So we're doing one question at a time. And then if there's like a pause and you've already asked a question, nobody else is asking a question, go for it. But Carrie is up next. Go for it, Carrie.
Okay, so we worked on my Black Friday offer yesterday, but my mind's also thinking of December, and I know a lot of businesses do like the 12 days of Christmas and do an email offer every day in the first 12 days of December. So I was thinking about doing that. Do you have any thoughts on that? I was also thinking, if I do start up a Facebook group, one of my emails could be, hey, join my Facebook groups. I've been wanting to do that, and kind of offer maybe not necessarily, I'm not trying to make things cheap as far as like offering lower ticket, but maybe more entry level things for people who are on my list to kind of reignite them back into our business too. How would you like do all that and balance that? Or do you hate those?
No, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate any of that. Except all of it. So dramatic. No. Okay. One is, let's come back to the chant. What were we chanting? What were we chanting? It was not just for Black Friday, to be clear. One offer. Carrie, say it with me.
Yes, one offer. That's right.
Offer.
I forgot.
Okay. So I'm so glad you asked this question. Okay. So just so you know too, for your pitches to these other people, I think what you need to have is a done for you package and estimate about how many hours you think that's going to take. You need to have done for you work or hourly support packages, and maybe both for clients. So what Carrie does, just to give you insights, but just so you guys know, any of these questions, you need to start to look at your own stuff for this. It's either done for you work or time, any of us. Or a course, which is let's say a digital product sale. But most courses, especially if you want to charge higher ticket for them, are also going to include some of you, like this, right? I offer this every single Thursday for the group coaching. So if you are not in the current one-to-one plan or haven't been, you still get access to me. Do you guys think that this is a valuable thing, a value add to a course that makes like such a bigger difference than just looking at videos? Okay, so my videos, I put my whole heart and soul into them though, just so you know, like I'm not like a person that just writes off my video. I'm like just doing it to do it. No, I like map it out. I won't put it in there unless I truly think you should watch every single video. Really. I'm not putting it in there for fluff. Like I'm like, this is what you need in your business, just so everybody knows how I made my course. But one-to-one means what's going on today. Look, we've got a Black Friday thing. So why I'm sharing that is for all of you. With courses, people are going to be a lot more apt to buy your course if it's included into a group coaching program. I like to call the course more of a curriculum. So it's essentially like if you were working with a teacher and they're like, here's your book and here's some video things, but we still need to show up. There's classmates and there's a teacher. And that's really what this is, right? There's an expert and then there's your community. And we all get to learn from each other. So why I say that to you, Carrie, and any of you, but for you, Carrie, specifically, like the email you sent me without revealing that, you need to map out. What I would do is go through that email. And this has to do with all the things you're asking me about and say, here's an estimate for that. Here's an estimate for that. Or if you just pay us this lump sum every month for the next 12 months, we could do a contract. You just send us what you need. We're going to get it done. And that should be like a 6-figure level for that person, just by the way. So if you want to pay 10K a month or 100K pay in full for the year and you guys want to do that thing, then we'll just send us what you need. Right. So, or here's the estimate for the things you asked us for. And this is our estimate for up to 20 hours per month. Or up to 40 hours per month. Like you need to probably have up to, but then they're billed at a much higher rate than what you're billing. And I do think it needs to be more 250, 350, 500. Does that make sense? 12 days of Christmas, I would just give some prizes, but I would not offer any offer besides which offer, everybody? One offer. And the offer can change a little. Let's say you know what people need. Raise your hand if you usually know what people need, and it's almost always the exact same thing in your field. It is. It's just always the exact same thing. Unless you'd like to be a coffee shop and have 20 things and put a little tinge of toffee nut. Like that sounds like hell to me. So I don't know about you, but I'm not into the coffee shop thing. The other thing I'm not into, just so everybody knows, is if somebody comes up to me and they're like, well, I just spent this thing at that thing. Can you move your prices a little? Do you guys go into Marshall's? Like I was checking out at Marshall's with like all these women in line the other day for holiday shopping. And can you imagine with all like aisle 7 is open and you get up to the front and you're like, oh, all these things that I want. Is everyone following right here? This is very important. All these things that I want that I've shopped around and brought to the table. Oh, you're saying it's $388. Well, if I had not just gone to Target right before here, is there anything you can do with this? And they're like, yeah, you can leave. And so all of you say it with me. We do not negotiate our prices. Say it with me. I do not negotiate my prices. If somebody wants less, what do they do in a store? They put it back. You have to understand you don't negotiate. And I understand in business, some people teach that like, oh, well, like blah, blah. No, you could do a payment plan. You could do a contract. You could have an auto pay, but just so you know, I would never count your receivables as cash in the bank. You better be making sure you have enough money from somewhere else just in case they don't pay. That's wisdom. Understand? So if somebody comes to you and they say, I don't want like, oh, you mean I want all this and this is the transformation I want, and you tell them what it's going to cost them, then you can either say, I only sell that because that's what you need and you're welcome to go somewhere else. So you have two options as the business owner. Or you could say, you know what? I could do one funnel in the luxury branding for this price point. But I'm not discounting and saying, I'm going to take all these things. You're right. I should have known you were at Target before now. Yeah, that's on me. Let me get my employee discount out. No, I actually have people get their employee discounts out. Not because I asked for it. They're like, you know what? You're a nice person. But is everybody with me? So when you understand you're not running a car dealership, yes, but they also build that in also. They build in because that's the culture for car dealerships, right? So they build that in. I personally don't want to build that in. Who wants to build that into their business? That's not fun. So I want you to just remember when you're running these price points, they don't have to hire you, but you don't have to lower your prices either. You understand? So I just felt like sharing that. So Carrie, for that one email, yes, if you want to do the 12 days of Christmas, great. Maybe give a gift card to Amazon or give 12 presents. I'm not making 12 freaking offers. No way. No way. That's exhausting. I'm not writing 12 emails with 12 offers. I'll write 12 emails, same offer, carts closing, bonuses going away. Sure, I would do that. Yes, I would.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily thinking 12 offers. I was thinking maybe sprinkle a couple
You
in,
said
but
12 offers, and
did I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to.
I'm like, no, even all the offers when I logged into your Go High Level account, and I was like, okay, we need to simplify these offers and make it that one offer that I told you, because that's going to bring in all these different people. If anything, you can offer, like, if somebody was on the fence for a 50K or 100K or a 6-figure contract, you could offer, like, actually, we'll give you 10 hours extra through the year and say what that value would be, because, like, you honor that they're investing that much into you. But everybody, let's say it with me. The thing I want everyone to take away from this call is one offer. Okay. And stop selling workshops. Stop selling little $20 things. Give it for free. If it's under $1,000, I personally give it for free. So the one small course I have that I sell for $97, it's truly worth at least $1,000. And I only sell that because I literally don't even have anything low ticket anymore. And when I went to build my Automate to Dominate course to try to build like a $2,000 package, it's really like a $25,000 course. And I gave all my templates, and some people still got that deal. And I'm not selling it for that. I'm like, no, you know what? Remember when we were raising our hands about how long you've been in business for? You know what? Sometimes you earn that leverage. And you don't I'm not a Toyota car. I'm a Lamborghini, and you're not going to get a Lamborghini ever for the price of a Toyota, are you? So you get to decide. And when you're starting, it's okay that you're building the parts, and that's okay. You don't always jump straight there, but you want to have in mind that if, like, the way that you spoke passionately, Rachel, about they're going to get that, I'm like, then great, don't even sell the $997, because the truth is they're not going to get as much transformation, because they're not going to get to work with you one-to-one on their problems. Am I right? So then don't sell it. It's $2,000. That's that. 2K day buy. And if you sell the first 5 and you have some other people, raise it to 5K, because you just sold out 5 spots, and you can. So I really just want to empower people, but what you have to do, the thing that people sometimes aren't willing to do, is you really need to show up and be VIP. You need to think ahead for them. You need to give them what they don't even know they need. Write that down. Give them what they don't even know they need. That's very important. That's part of you being a VIP coach, a VIP consultant. Like April, no, don't give them 1 hour. Don't even sell that 1 hour. Who's going to go through and have everything they need done in their closet in 1 hour? Not me. And I actually have a really organized closet. But I know I need, if I was going with you, because also, do you guys want to rush in 1 hour? I hate rushing. I hate rushing. So guess what you do when you don't want to rush? You build in the time that it's really going to take to get it done. And what it's really going to take is really, I would be selling a 30-day, 60-minute weekly check-ins, zip zap. I think for you, a $997 for 7-day thing would be good. It needs to be scheduled within 10 days or they lose it. It's use it or lose it. And also, like, just so you guys know, you're enabling people when you give them out. Like if you said, oh, okay, we can do it in 2 weeks. Well, guess what? Who's actually the one hurting? They are then, and you're letting them, because what happened was they told you that they wanted to get their closet cleaned out in 1 week. And if you let them be like, that's fine, you can do it, but just so you know, that extra, now it's going to be 500 extra, because I told you it was 10 days and that's why you're going to have it in your terms. And you're doing that not to be a bitch, but you're doing it because you're holding them accountable to the timeline that they said that they wanted. And that's the difference in like people who hold each other like accountable for the things that you want to do. Right? Like there's timelines in life and it is use it or lose it. Has anybody ever been to Kohl's? They are really good at holding you accountable to that Kohl's cash. Unless you meet somebody really nice. I'm literally not even a fan of it because of that. But who else has been somewhere and they're like, oh, sorry, that expired yesterday. And it's not happening. Like you don't get that money. Anybody? Raise your hand. So have the nerve to do it. And those are big businesses. They do that because it works. And I don't believe in manipulating people. Put your timelines on there, but don't give people an out, because if you give them an out, you're losing a sale, or you're losing the cash, or like you're letting them walk all over you, or they're just walking all over their own life. There have to be consequences. If you told your kid, if you clean your room Friday by 2 p.m., you get $50. And if they get it done Saturday, they're like, it's not done Friday. They kind of throw a fit. They put it off. You gave them all this time. Do you think you're a good parent to still give it to them on Saturday? Are you teaching them really like consequences? You're not. You're teaching them, you know what? People are going to make exceptions for you, honey. Do you guys want your kids to think that people are going to make exceptions for you? How about you teach your kids that when they get it done early, you give them a bonus, but don't tell them that. What if they had it done by noon and you gave them an extra $10 and you said, you know what, here's your 50. And you know what, here's an extra 10, because you know what, I really appreciate that you not only hit your deadline, but you did it early. And I really respect that about you. And you get it. That's a cool lesson, isn't it? Do you think that they might take that with them when they're adults, and if they're a boss ever, and maybe they would honor their employees? I heard it said from one guy, and it's not always the best advice, but essentially like if somebody quotes you a job, and like always pay a little extra. Now I check in on that with my own wisdom and discernment and how good they did. But like, I think it's a pretty good rule of thumb standard to live by, because what does it do when you give somebody some extra cash that they didn't even ask for? How does that make you guys feel? There's a lesson in life. Anybody want to share? You guys get to talk. Remember, it's not just the Tiana show. It's mostly, but
I do that with my VAs right now. Like, you know, you see them really paying attention, like responding, doing all that stuff, and they'll send me their monthly thing, and then I'll just tack on not a massive amount, but a little bit extra,
a little extra,
because it's like, hey, just thanks so much. I really appreciate you. And you know, who couldn't use it?
100%. They love it. Has anybody ever received extra? I will tell you, I have one client who paid my fees without me ever asking. So I don't charge my transaction fees because I just chalk it up to cost of business. So when I send an invoice, that's the invoice. I take the fees. And one of my clients, because she knew Venmo, she sent me money on Venmo, and she knew that it charges me the fees. She actually added up the exact percentage. She like researched what it was and sent me extra to cover that. And I was just like really touched. And it's like, I think like it's a special thing when we honor each other, and it's not always appropriate, and it's not like bad not to do it, but it's just this whole thing. Like it's this, when you're also sending invoices for your clients and you're telling them this is what's included. I will also tell you guys just a really good business tip is I do typically give some kind of bonus that I didn't tell them. So Rachel, one thing I would tell you is give them 2 bonuses. And then what I want you to do is give them a 3rd surprise one. You're giving too many bonuses. So give 2. And give them the 3rd one, and make that 3rd one, maybe it's the vision one, the one that people charge for, the really popular one. That will be a surprise bonus. And for all of you, you know, don't tell them. I don't always tell people. Now people know usually because people post about it. I don't always tell people what I'm mailing them in the mail. And then they get it and it's like a surprise, because I just like, I really do value clients, right? Like I'm like, I would not be in business. So it's like, I think it's great. So Carrie, back to your question. Do you have more clarity around one offer and essentially taking the sales PDF that we put together and essentially always just saying, this is my offer. I'm going to either have like a 30-day, 60, 90-day, And then because certain people don't need as many hours, say up to 10 hours is this much monthly, up to 20, but you don't need to show them the hours, and there are no rollover hours. Say it with me. There are no rollover hours. There's no rule. You use it or you lose it. And actually, I had a good analogy for you today about that. I was thinking about college classes. When you pay for your college classes, and again, it depends on the person's business whether this is relevant. But I actually don't really believe in rollover hours. And if you sign up for college courses, does the kid get a refund because he didn't show up to 2 classes that month? Yeah, right. He gets penalized, actually, or she, right? So like if they don't use it, fine. Because I'm talking, it is a college client. I won't say who it is, right? So it made me think of it because you could use that analogy with them if they did say anything. But the truth is, just so everybody knows, people will usually not say anything if you are feeling very aligned and confident in your own pitch. It's usually only going to happen when some part of you is not comfortable with what you're saying, and they'll say it not to be a jerk. They're going to say it because a part of you wants that conflict. Can we talk upper level spirituality for a moment? You want that conflict so you can finally have confidence. What was interesting through the years has been, before, when I was nervous about raising my prices or charging what I was worth or figuring out deals for people, was because I did not respect myself. I did not. And so I kept attracting people who would try and talk me down, and then they were horrible clients, and then they would like ask for more, and I would just give it, trying to people please. Raise your hand if people pleasing has ever worked for you. Did it actually make them happy? Because you cannot make anybody else happy. So what you can do in business is you can have a transaction. You can say, here's what you're going to get for this much money. Okay? Here's what you get for this much money. Everybody do it with your hands right now. It's a transaction. My business is a transaction. Repeat after me. Okay? Here's what you're going to get for this much money. And then when they say, and you can do this with me, okay, I know you did all that, but here's the other thing I want. Okay? Anyone ever had this happen? That's great. I can totally help you with this. It's this much more. Everyone with me? If you don't do it for me, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. Okay. Bye. Like, why do you have to be bullied? Like, no, people who respect you will respect that you respect yourself. People who want to bully other people, do you even want them in your circle in business? I sure don't. I want to give people what I promised them. And if I'm given the direction to give them above, I will. But you don't need to go above and beyond. That's kind of a false belief. And it makes us, as people who serve others, feel indebted to people for paying for us, when in reality, it is a transaction. You're paying this, I'm giving you this. You go to a store, to Marshall's, here's the things I want, and it's this much money. You can't pay it, put half of it back. Okay. That feeling good? And yeah, so Carrie, the other thing I was going to tell you was, I don't think that your staff should be about your invoicing anymore, to be honest. I would not run any of it by them. You're in charge of the business. You're in charge of the finances. I wouldn't even be asking their opinion. They're paid employees.
Right. Yeah. I think part of it was where I had delegated some of that task down.
Yeah, they can't be in charge of
that-
that. So that's a
Yeah.
carry. That's a carry one that should always be on you.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be on anybody else. Because one, it's not in their need to know basis to know how much you charge. They're going to come with their own money mindset things. Because, can I speak higher level to everybody and to you, Carrie, on this? Do I have permission?
fine.
You good?
Mhm.
You're a CEO, they're an employee. That is a different mindset. It is.
Mhm.
And so if somebody's an employee, and we need good employees on our team, they are not thinking like a CEO. So as a CEO and as somebody who understands that, like, they're thinking, oh, hourly, who's going to pay that? And you're thinking, are these colleges not charging 30, 40, 50K, even 100K at this point for a year for one person, let alone they have 10,000, 100,000 students? So there's an overhead cost in business that employees just don't know. You know why they don't know? Because they're not paying all of it.
Right.
So you have to understand that it's not just hourly. It's not like they're looking at it like, oh, you're charging 150 an hour and maybe you're only paying them 15. I'm just throwing numbers out there because I don't
Right.
know your numbers. But let's say they're like, I can't believe you're charging that. And you're like, oh my goodness, I'm actually need to charge this much more because Homegirl's rent needs paid. All 7 employees need paid. Softwares need paid. Facebook ads need paid. Tiana needs paid. You know, my clothing budget needs paid. You know, health and wellness. Like it's like or like I like the cap on it. I'm like the computer, like all these things. They don't get it because you know what they're looking at? Their own income and their own things that they're taking care of. But you're looking at you, family, company, big picture, everybody. And that's where you're like 20K monthly, 50K monthly for these big clients. And then we can breathe because you help people make billions. It's time for you to have breathing room and for you to have a $1 billion mindset. Because if you've helped others scale to billions, that means you can help yourself scale to billions. And I'm here to encourage you to do that. Let go, billionaire.
Got it.
All right, get it. Let's hear for Carrie raising prices, being the CEO, not telling her employees about the finances anymore. And you know what? They'll be super grateful because you'll be able to give them bigger bonuses because you sometimes we have to get certain people out of our head. Anybody know what that's like? And you know what? Sorry, sometimes it's a spouse, sometimes it's an employee, and it doesn't mean you have to cut them off always. Sometimes it does. Depends on the situation. But a lot of times it just means like, hey, listen, I see where you're at. I just need you to know we're not doing that here. So just so you guys know, like Eli works in the Air Force and, you know, we're also in a newer relationship. It's been about 2 years. So we're still having all these like connections. Well, part of his job is to check the news. I am so anti-news for so many reasons. And I've been off news for years and it's been a lovely little world I live in. And I will tell you, when I started dating him and hearing a little bit more about the news, there were actually several times I had to get myself out of a fear space to walk fully back into abundance. So I have told him, and anytime it comes up, I was like, listen, no, I will not listen to you talk anything less than amazingness. I don't want to hear about the finance report. I don't want to hear about the news. I don't live in that reality. That is not where I live. And you can talk about it at work if you want, and you can make those choices. It's not coming in the house. So you might have to talk to your employees and you might have to sit people down and say, this isn't what I'm going to hear. And you can say it with love, but if it keeps happening, it's like, no, I actually meant it. And this is our culture here. And this is what we do here. And I have like very strict boundaries around this. And I'll share another little example. One of my dreams is to open up, is to turn schools that have been run down or in bad areas or even just okay areas. And I want to turn them into really beautiful educational centers that have music room, art room, therapists, just quiet rooms. And I want to have security in all levels. I want zero abuse happening in anything that I ever run. Like it will be arms security, video security. Like I'm going to take care of people. It's going to be a safe place for people of all ages who feel lonely, who feel sad. And so part of my big dream is to make enough money to fund this myself. And I want to collaborate with other people as well. So one of the things though, is that I've been thinking about, because you know how they say like, if you feel like something feels overwhelming, still just take the steps forward. And one of the things that I want in every room, and especially by the front door, is our rules to play here, sandbox rules. Okay. And the rules to play in my space are always no gossiping, no complaining. No, I say no swearing. I swear sometimes. A limited swearing. If I was in the house and I said no swearing, I'd keep to my own rules because I'm not going to be a hypocrite. And what I mean is like you get to create back to the culture of like who you desire to be in. And that's a specific space. I don't have a problem with swearing, just so you guys know, because I know sometimes people swear in here. It's okay. But the point is like in that kind of space, that might be all ages, things like that. But the point is like you guys all each have the opportunity, the friends you're around, the people you work with, to have a culture. Now, sometimes you might work with somebody for a certain thing, but you still might have a hard line, right? If somebody says they're going to do something and then they don't do it, So that's kind of down the line, but you have to elevate your vibe. And that means usually you have to either tell the current tribe where you're going and stick to it, and create some new relationships. But if that means you're lonely for a little bit, so be it. I'd rather not go to coffee with the person trying to pick my brain for free than go to coffee at all, right? Does that make sense? So you gotta, if you need to be on a billionaire line, Carrie, because you really are already there, but we need it for you. So they'll thank you later. I know that was like a thing. I checked on my timing because I keep trying to be like, okay, it's 12. Okay, so we have a 10-15 minute window. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Grayson, by the way. I help business owners leverage their business to get into commercial real estate. So let everyone know that's what we're doing, and we're offering mentorship with that. And we're thinking about offering funding for some of the higher tickets, right? So we'll say it's like 5K, 8K or more. We want to attract the best clients that will get results, right? We're trying to figure out if we offer funding. I mean, is that going to attract the best clients, or should we just say, okay, it's 8K, no funding, no help?
Do you
Like, what do
mean, are you
you-
talking about for selling the course, or are you talking about getting into a deal?
It would be, we definitely want to do it with the course, but with the mentorship program, if it's 8K, do we want to say, okay, we can provide like a little bit of funding, like a payment plan almost? Like it's 8K, you pay, 6K down or 4K down, and then the rest down the road, or is it gonna be like one full payment?
Oh, I mean, I think payment plans are okay as long as it's like automated, which we would set up in Stripe and have like, okay, it's pay in full and you save a few $1,000s if you pay in full and you get a bonus, for example, right? Like that's how I usually will do like a pay in full deal. And then a payment plan is fine. I definitely wouldn't not charge for anything. People just will like, no, they won't respect it, and they need to pay for it if they want to learn about the deals that you guys teach. They like, your knowledge is worth that. And again, it's also enabling people because like one person might look like they can't get it together, but they sell something, they refinance their house, they get a credit card, they walk into a loan. Somebody else actually has the cash in hand and just doesn't value and is like, I can't do it. Like, anybody had that happen in their business? I have. And so when we like essentially let somebody else's story, and Gracie, you weren't on here when I shared this super fun. I don't think you were. Were you on here yet about the Marshall story about like walking in and like somebody saying, well, if you would have caught me before I paid for this thing or before I paid for that thing. So everybody say it with me right now. Their story is not my story. So nobody's story really has anything to do with me getting paid. It just can't. Because then I would be emotionally tossed to and fro depending on how good I think their story is. And I am not a judgment call person on somebody's personal life story. They have to take responsibility for where they are in life, the same way I do. And it's not on me. My prices are my prices. And I sometimes will do a payment plan. Or I talked about we would lower a package. So let's say Grayson, they are saying they can't afford whatever. Their story is just not their story. They can either take the free offer, get in his free Facebook group, get in the free course you're giving them, the free mini course or the free download. They can follow online for Instagram. So the one thing I like about value-led marketing, right? So what you're doing is there not a lot of amazing advice on Instagram for free right now? Is that true or false? Is there a free download coming out? True or false? Is there a free Facebook group coming out? So the thing in life is people have to learn to take the free stuff, implement the free stuff until they can afford to pay and figure it out. Now, if somebody came to you, I would never advertise a smaller payment plan like an 8 pay of 1K, because like the longer a payment plan is in business, the less people will pay it. That's a fact. So instead, we really want a 2 or 3 pay max. Okay. So not everyone, it's not the truth with everyone, but it is the majority. So in business, what I like to do is like, okay, I'm going to advertise a 1 pay and it's saving a few $1,000s and a big bonus. Maybe they get a call with, you one-to-one instead of just group. Does that make sense? Then, and that's like 10K pay in full, or a 3 pay or a 4 pay of 3K or 4K. So let's say you did a 3K, 3 pay of 3K and a pay in full of 8K. So they save $1,000, they get the call and they get the bonuses. The other people get all the other access, all that stuff. Now, let's say somebody writes you and they've got the nerve and they're like, you know what? I know this is the right program for me. I do not have 3K today. I have 1,000. Would you take the 1,000? I'm going to start to integrate it. I can do 1,000 a month for 9 months. Otherwise, but let that person reach out to you themselves. Some people have to also get enough nerve to say, ask and you shall receive themselves. Right. So Grayson, yeah, I would never give somebody funding for my course. I've given people things all in the past. I've been in the course business for 12 years and that's never worked. And I've been a part of other people's course launches. Same thing. People only value what they invest their time and money into. That's just the truth.
Yeah, we just want to attract the best clients that are going to take action and really value everything that we're doing, right? And I feel like if we provide like if it's like 8K, they can only put down 4 or 5K, maybe they're not in the best financial position either to invest in like commercial real estate, right? If they don't have the money.
That's the other thing. How are they going to invest in commercial real estate? I would say with the program, just because I have behind the scenes on it, I actually think you guys should offer more of for your first 20, I would say offer a 2K. That does not get any one-to-one time with any of you. It's just like to get the course, get some testimonials, come in at least 10, because 2K is a really nice price point. Like here for Black Friday, what I'd like to do would be to sell 50 at 2K and make 100K personally and just automate it. No sales calls for that. Then have a 10K upgrade at the same time. Like, hey, maybe you don't know about this, but if you would like to talk to, your team one-to-one and get some one-to-one commercial things, we're giving away 2 hours of coaching. When you pay in full for our new program coming out, you get a special insight, and that's 10K. Because look, you could sell 10 of those for 10K. It would require about 10 hours of one-to-one work, but they have to do a case study, and that's another 100K. So you're looking at $200,000 over the next 10 days. And with the audience, I'll talk to you guys about that after this call. That's a doable price point. So to me, even if something is worth a lot of money, if there's not one-to-one support or at least group support like this happening, 2K I don't really sell it for more than that. I don't think it's quite worth it because there's no FAQ. There's no asked questions. There's no warm feedback. But with a live call like this, I'd say it could be 5K, even for the starter thing, if he's going to get on here and do live calls. But the point is, your question was, do we finance? Absolutely, we don't. Well, you can finance with a payment plan. Do we fund them? Never. I really don't believe in funding people. Nope.
Okay. Yeah.
Did that help?
Yeah, no, I think that getting feedback, especially from those people that are paying 2K, and just getting feedback on the course and the program, like tell us what you like, tell if there's any holes in this that we can fix and make it better for the people coming in the future as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we
they
should
would
try to
expect
sell
that.
50 at 2K, or like 20 at 3K for this week.
I don't want to steal the throne from everyone else that wants to ask questions as well. So
Does anybody else have a question now that we'll come back to you, Grayson, if they don't. Does anybody else have a question? I haven't heard from Renee or Jessica. I will put people on the spot. Do you guys have any specific questions about your business or about just mindset? I can bring it back down. It doesn't always have to be so intense.
I'm
Scary
still
eyes.
working on my offer, so I know I have a call with you later, but I've got a lot of clarity here with just like bundling and like just doing the math of, okay, how much do we actually want to bring in for Black Friday, and then creating an offer around that. And I like the one offer because Squirrel Brain here offering so many
Yeah.
different services. It gets a little confusing with, okay, what's your front end offer? And then like, what's the back end offer? Like, what do I want to push? And then do I really need a back end offer? Or am I just sticking with one thing all the way around?
Just stick with the one thing, give them what like one thing with everybody is give them what they really need. So even for you, Grayson, too, like you know what the people really want? They're asking all those questions. So I'm on the back part of a launch with Grayson and his team. But and I've seen the back end, and this is for any of you, I promise, because I've seen screenshots. All of you have pretty much sent me screenshots. Okay. So like, you know what people really want? They want you. So everybody say it in the comments and say it out loud. They want me. They really want me. It's like the famous line. That's what they really want. So give them what they want and charge them for it. I mean, you could write down what I just said. Grace, let's make a flyer for them today for Black Friday. Like, let's make it. So it's going to be like, they want me. They really want me. So give them what they want and charge them for it. Do you not think all the life experience you have is the thing that they also have custom questions. So all of you have asked like pretty much your own question, but they are a little different. And when you get to ask an expert and get their feedback or get other people and even just think about and have the courage to do it, doesn't it push you forward so much faster than like staying in your brain watching a course video? Okay, so there's value with a course video. There's knowledge with a course video, but there's immediate feedback with a coach. I would not be where I am today without my coaches. I would not look the way I look. Oh my goodness, I can only imagine. I would not look the way I look. I would not have the confidence I have. I would not, and now I showed up and did my part. Okay. I just feel like I'm doing dance moves now, like Tybo. Like I'm sore. Actually, I was dancing with Eli the other night. I was being super goofy. I like threw my shoulder out. He's like, this is why people this old. I was like, see, no news and no negative talk about my age. Anyway, side note, they want you. They really want you. And so really give them what they want with that. And then if they cannot, if they say, because it's not if they cannot, if they say, do you guys know how I'm using my words very clearly? If they say, I can't afford that, I'm telling you, if they thought it was life or death to their life, and it's not always like emergency room life or death. It could be a bill, life or death, like electricity payment next month, life or death. Okay. Do you see what I mean? They would find the money. Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm super committed and I have to do it. And you get like super, super laser focused and somehow something comes through and you're like, what? How did that happen? Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you. That's happened to me so many more times than I can count. In the most randomness ways, I could share story after story after story. So trust that it will happen for them as well. And it's not your job to lower your prices for their story. So give them back to the package what they really need, not what they want. So they do want you, but give them what they need. So what I tell people is if they say, because I don't believe that they can't, if they say they can't afford my one-to-one, I say, that's okay. I made this other program called Automate to Dominate. And this I'll give you a payment structure on. And this is about 50%, 80% less than working me through one-to-one. And I put in there what you need. You might want to talk to me, but I'm sorry if you don't have the 20, the 50K, you're not talking to me one-to-one. Because I've earned my status at this point. And I literally, it's not even me being snobby, you guys. I worked till 9 last night, and this isn't all the time, just trying to get all my systems up for myself and clients because I had some work due. You know, I did the Tony Robbins event. And when I tell people I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Do you see what I mean? So if I was talking to all these people that said they want to talk to me, I would literally not make any money and I would not have time for my family or for myself. Now, is that healthy? So it's not my job to please them. It is not. It is my job, again, 2 hands, to give them this offer and them to pay me for it. So the offer will be the thing that's going to give them transformation, Jessica. So figure out what they would actually pay for the amount of money you want to make. How much money you want to make through Black Friday?
10K.
Okay, so if you have 10K, the easiest thing would be to sell 2 $5,000 packages, or as we talked about, 5 $2,000. But for all of you selling 5 $2,000, I'm going to tell you right now, I would still take a look at a $5,000 package because between today, which is Thursday, and next Friday, which is 8 days away, and even if you extend it to Cyber Monday, getting in 10 phone calls with new leads is actually going to be hard. I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm not one of these people that's like, that's only 10. When was the last time you had 10 sales calls? Raise your hand if you had 10 sales calls anytime in 7 days before. I've maybe hit that. Yeah. And it was like on a super busy week. Honestly, this is one of those weeks. But like the thing is that it's even having the time for 10 sales calls on top of whatever personal lives we all have going on, it's going to be difficult. Am I right? So what I would do is figure out how to make that $5,000 package like look like a $20,000 package and just sell 2. I know you do go high level. If I were you, just letting you know, I would make fitness coaches entire online go high level programs, or talk to me about we could do that and you could like affiliate something with that if it's not ready yet, but get the leads in the door, or work with them till you get there. Like be like, hey, look, I'm going to work with you through the end of here in 2023. I'm going to work with just 2 people. I'm going to help you map out your whole process. I'm going to help you get your systems in place. I'm going to show you how to post on. Like you got to be like, these are the things you actually need to help a fitness professional grow their business. Again, you guys all need to be so dialed into your ICA that you know what they really need and you're going to give it to them, and you need to communicate it. But this is also audience growth, because if you don't have enough leads in your own pipeline, it doesn't matter how good your package is. Cool.
Love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I have a 5-minute. This is the last 5 minutes. I'm setting a timer. I'm giving us an extra 5. Anybody need anything, want anything before we go in 4 minutes? So what I would give everybody encouragement to do would be to come up with your package and list it really bullet points. So even if you have the longer one, what I really like to see is the name of it, the subject of it, like the objective of like what is the full transformation going to be, the listing of the main support package, and 2 bonuses. Like if I was listing it all out, that's what it would look like on a Canva square. So I don't want to see all the details. It's unnecessary. It's going to overwhelm your prospect. What you need to do is you can walk them through all the details on a call. But what I think people get wrong on in even a sales call is that you really just need to always be focused on their transformation. It's not about over explaining all the big things that your package includes. 1, they're going to hire you if they already like you. 2, if you can show them how you're going to get them the transformation you're promising them, that's really all they care about. Don't oversell it. So it's a listing of the name of your package, the objective of what the package is. And I think this is in the sales offer. If you guys go to the sales offer and Automate to Dominate, go to that video, because really it's the 1-pager one. And then I would just list what the main one is, the support that's included, like 3-4 things, any done for you work, and then 2 quick bonuses. You're not going to post all that, but you should list all that in a square to show how simple it can be. And then you guys can share that in our 7-figure club, and then we can give you feedback and make sure and do that by today, because everybody needs to be launching their Black Friday deal tomorrow.
So much work to do. No pressure.
There is no pressure. It's up to you if you want to go make that money. I don't care. I'm going to make my money. When people are like, oh, I'm like, I'm not your babysitter or even your teacher, and I'm not grading you. I'm telling you, I'm about to go like Donkey Kong up on this Black Friday deal, and I'm just telling you guys what works. You can decide if you want to be broke another holiday season right now, or if you want to go make some money right now and celebrate at Thanksgiving, keep on pushing, kill it, and then get to go to Bali. I don't know why you'd go to Bali. Go to Fiji or go to Europe, or stay in your house and go to a French room cafe, which is what my plans are for Christmas. And you get to decide what your future is. And yes, it is work. And yes, actually, in fact, drawing up a beautiful sales PDF and doing all this pre-work, do not let the lies, well, what if nobody buys? Well, with that attitude, you're right. Nobody's going to buy. So yes, if you don't fill up, can I just be extreme right now? Can I have permission to be myself? Do I have it? Okay, so I actually am giving myself permission, but I'm going to let you know where I'm about to go with it. So heads up. So for the last 2 minutes, let's go do this. I'll just do it in 1 minute. Here's the truth. You're making the amount of money that you believe you deserve to make. Come to terms with that. Do not be hard on yourself. Do not be mean to yourself about it, but you need to be honest with yourself about it. And then you need to be honest with yourself about what you've been doing is not working. And you need to be honest about what parts of what you're doing is not working. Okay, that's the truth. And you need to list it out. Like you actually need to get a journal and you need to list out the bad habits. And I'm going to tell you right now what it probably is for most people. You're not doing your power hour marketing. You're not doing sales calls. You're not going through the course that I made. And if you're not doing the things and you don't have a coach and you're not doing the things you promised yourself you were going to do differently, you will have the same results. But you have an amazing opportunity right here for Black Friday through the end of the year to do something different. So do something different. And don't give up on yourself. Don't let the lies in your head. I will tell you the number one thing is do not let yourself be in a bad mood because you attract what you feel. So if you let yourself think bad thoughts, and even if you go through the motions, it's going to be very difficult to get the results that you say you want because you're not feeling good. The law of attraction is truly real. So I'm giving you action steps, but if you're so committed to being a victim and you're so committed to your old stories, I can't help you. So you have to figure out how to feel good and how to do things that help you feel good. And you know what helps you feel good? You guys want to know the number one thing that's going to help you feel good? Keeping your promises to yourself. And that's what actually builds self-esteem. And that's what actually builds self-confidence. So list out where you have been failing yourself. And then write, I forgive myself. And here's how I'm going to do it differently. And really forgive yourself. It's okay. Who's failed themselves before? I sure have. But you know what's awesome? Like not doing that anymore. So don't that's the problem. So stop doing it, really. And I understand it's easier said than done, but fight through it. Fight through it. Fight through it to the other side. Do things that help you feel good and go keep the promises to yourself and literally throw out your feelings because your feelings in one hand about the marketing, about watching the videos, because your feelings will change as you're like, I'm just going to sit and do this. No, I don't feel like it. And then when you start to learn something and you learn how to email better and you learn how to post better, and then you get somebody who messages you, but you understand you're waiting for someone to message you to feel better, but nobody's going to message you and nobody's going to want to talk to you until you have enough self-confidence and belief in your own system to show up and do the thing you said you were going to do. There it is. That's the truth. Does anybody relate with anything I just said? Do you think that I'm on the nose about that? It's not to be mean. Again, I'm going to go kill it. I want to kill it with all of you. I want you to send me a testimonial video. I want you to be like, oh my goodness, I did that thing and I made $10,000 and I made $20,000 and it totally worked and I'm in it to win it. And woo, because come on. Who's in it to win it? Raise your hand. Like, seriously, are you ready to do this? Who's ready to do this? Who's going to tell me next Cyber Monday on our next call that you just did it? You just did it. You said you wanted to make 10K and you made more than 10K. How would it feel to surpass your goal? Who wants to surpass their goal? So raise your goal, just so you know, because usually you cap yourself. So if you actually want to make 10K, I'd say 15. I'm just going to let you know. There's a little clue. Okay, so everybody good? You ready to go rock it out? Okay, so make your goals. You know what else helps goals? Accountability. Don't be afraid to fail. We're not going to shame you. Have you guys ever felt, you're like, Tiana, you just shamed us. I did not shame you. I spoke truth. If you feel ashamed, that's on you. I don't feel ashamed. I feel empowered. Do you feel empowered or do you feel ashamed? I don't want to shame or guilt anybody. I don't believe in that. I do think sometimes you need to get honest where you are and fix it. Fix it and then fix it. Have you guys seen that SNL skit? Anybody? Okay, I guess I watch comedy every night because like it helps me like relax before bedtime and laugh. Okay, so you need to post in the group your Black Friday sales. We will help you. We will get back with you. And go out there, make your offers. Don't tell everybody what's included. You need to let everybody know that there's like 2 spots or 5 spots, however many spots there are. One offer. How many? Do we give them what they need? Yep. And you need to know what they need more than they even know. Okay. So you guys have a great day. Let's get one more picture before we go. If you're super excited, show me how excited you are. I want you to picture something before we go. And this is what I want you to show up as. Pretend it's next Thursday. It's the beginning of the call. Well, not Thursday, the Thursday after Thanksgiving. Okay. And it's the beginning of the call. You guys with me? And I am going to ask everybody. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to ask everybody. Grace, please put this on the list. How did you do for Black Friday? And I want you to be so excited before then you're going to make that face and make that arm movement that you surpass the goal you said out loud to everybody else. Everybody with me? Like, what does that feel like? You're like, oh my goodness, I actually did it. We did it. Okay. So that's how I want you to feel. And that's how I want you to speak. And I'm going to count to 3. And that's the energy. 1, 2, 3. That's my goal because I know what my goal is and it's really big. Okay, everybody ready to go? So let's go get to it. Post it in the group tonight because tomorrow you're launching this thing. Let's go get it. Okay. I'll see you on the next time, whatever that is. See you. Bye.